You guys have been doing day naps long before this quarantine ever started. Hey, I'm talking to you.
What? I'm talking to you.
So today's day trip to go get my parts actually turns out to be a very productive trip. Another guy contacted me about Honda parts that I had here. He needs an ECU. I have that and all the other stuff. The price changed on the Honda parts. I said $100. I don't need the taillights. I actually have them. They were in the trunk of the car. There's some other stuff we'll have to go over here in a little bit later, but I gotta go get these parts. And anyways, he told me for the rear bumper, the impact bar, and the pad, $50. And the Honda parts that I sold that are in the same area as I'm going, guys, I'm giving him everything for $50. So I'm getting all the parts for the Honda for free, basically, except for driving. So I'm going to spend gas money, but that makes this car that much cheaper. So I need to hit the road. I'll go over what's wrong with this in the next video. It was forklift damage, and I'll go over that. And I'm going to take a ride on this later, me and Ashley, because it's supposed to be pretty warm today. I kind of wiped it down today. Man, I love that color. Yeah, so nice. That big toolkit, that D-Wall kit, it's in the back of my truck. I'm going to take that with me. And I need to clean up in here. Yes, I know. I have a mess. And yes, we are taking the Scion. I haven't driven this thing in several days. They took I ride in a van pool to work because of this social distancing thing. We had to turn that in. So now I have to drive my own vehicle, which we're going to be closer together because I ride with my brother and my dad to work. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But yes, we're taking the Scion. Actually, these are all the Honda parts I have. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. I know I can fit that full Accord bumper in here. I might have to put this seat up, but I know it'll fit in here, so that's why I'm taking this. Save some gas, have some fun while I'm driving, you know. So here we are again. The person that was going to buy the Civic parts, he communicated with me. I messaged him before I lost service because there's a lot of spotty areas between here and where I'm at. And I messaged him and said that I was going to this guy's house to get parts. I said that's about 15 to 20 minutes away. I'd message you when I get there, or when I'm leaving. He messaged me when I didn't have coverage and said, I'm heading there now. So I messaged him and I said, no, I meant it's going to be like 45, 50 minutes because I said I'm not at the guy's house yet. And then he said, okay, well, let me know when. So I messaged him when I was leaving there. I messaged him before I came over the mountain, before I lost service. I messaged him when I got in town here, and now I'm at the Dollar Store General where I'm supposed to meet him. I messaged him and told him I'm here, and he hasn't read any of my messages. So he's about to not get any parts. It's testing my patience. So the guy's coming. I messaged him and I said, if you don't message me back in like 5 minutes, I'm leaving. And then he said, oh crap, I wasn't paying attention to my phone. And I said, I noticed. Well, I'm going to go to Dollar General, see if they have anything good in here, like some toilet paper. At least I'm at Dollar General. Daddy's almost here. Alright, he finally showed $50 out, $50 back in. So all I paid for was gas today. So let's head back to the house. Probably not going to get into the work today. I'll do it during the week, but I can go over some of the things in the forklift damage that I have on the Accord. Alright, me and the wife are going to go for a bike ride, but let's take these parts in. And as you can see, this bumper is not in that good a shape either, but neither is the car. So it's a bumper. It'll be on the car. It'll look one again. All right, so $50 for these parts. Sold $50 of parts up here, so we're good there. I did, Ben, as you can see, I have this out. I had the front grill out and the top plastic piece, and I got the porta power in there and pushed down on this. It still has a little bit of a bow to it, but really not that bad. So we're gonna leave it like that. That's way better than what it was. There is a plastic piece. It's supposed to be part of the bumper, like a grill piece there. It's broke out. Not really worried about that. So let's go back here and I'll show you what was in the trunk. So we opened the trunk. There's 2 tire iron kits. No, my impact. That's my impact. There's pictures. I threw those away. I don't want to show somebody, I don't know that, I don't want to put them on YouTube. This taillight, mud flap, that taillight and mud flap's hanging on that side. Spare tire, all the pieces here, the carpet, there were some floor mats. I did get the trunk to fit, as you can see. I know I did a lot off camera. These were very gospel people. That's why I threw those CDs, or threw those pictures away. There's a bunch of gospel CDs there. But the trunk was loose. If you remember, it had a bunch of gap and it wasn't coming down the whole way. Now, as you can see, it comes up. All I had to do, well, even the bend in here, I heated this. And there's still a dent here. But I heated this and used the dead blow and just hammered it out. And I got it very, very much straight and pretty good shape there. And then I had to get that down. I had to adjust this down. I loosened the bolts and put it down the whole way, and it still didn't want to latch right. So I had to actually hammer on that to get it to bend down a little bit, and that did the trick. And now it shuts and seals very easily. So we got that done. That's just some of the things I did off camera. And here's one thing I noticed. They cut the bolts off for the license plate. That is very nice. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to get those out. But yeah, we'll do something there. If I have to drill them out, I will. But we'll do something with that. So we got the new bar, we got the new pad. We'll get those on here and get the bumper fitted up. We'll have to do some polishing on this, and let me show you what the forklift did. Now, this could have been way worse, so I'm not by no means complaining, because I know people have had worse things happen. When he loaded it up, he was the whole way underneath the car here, and before he put it on my dolly, he shifted his forks back so he could get the front end on. And when he did that, I saw the car shift, and right here, he got 2 of the lines right here, and you can see I took the plastic coating off of those so I could see the damage. Thankfully, this fuel line made it. This is a fuel line. This is the EGR line, so it just has gas vapors that go through that. It is pinched completely shut. As you can see, I tried to get it to open back up. There's no having it. So I am going to cut this. That's why I have these down out of the mounts. I'm going to cut this and put some couplers in here and a little piece of line to reconnect that, because as you can see, that big line comes here to here, and right here is where it attaches at the EGR, the charcoal canister. So we will get that fixed. That's no big deal. The car runs without it. It just nicked this fuel line, as you can see. Just a dent. So this is going to be okay. I'm going to put this plastic covering back over it, tape it. But yeah, so that's just a forecast of things to come this week. But as for right now, I'm going to go enjoy this bike, and Ashley's going to take her first ride on it. I'll interview her for her impressions afterwards. Alright, so this is going to be a random on-the-spot review. Took Ashley for a ride, and then I dropped her off because it looked like it was going to rain. She didn't want to ride anymore. So, but let's see how she felt about it. I'll film you from here, Grandma. How was the bike ride?
It was good.
You like it? A lot better than the FZ.
Yes, it was very comfortable.
It's like a Cadillac.
Yes.
Yes. And it's powerful.
Yes.
Yes. It sure is. I got on it one time, but then I just rode easy. Then I ran into my dad. After I dropped her off, I went for a ride, came back, ran into my dad. I never really rode his BMW, so we swapped bikes and ran. His bike's pretty impressive. It's a 1200. That's a 1400. And I mean, it's way torquier than my bike. My bike would probably up top would just dominate it, but like his bike's, and it's way more comfortable than mine. So I'm gonna do something with the bars. Mine's comfortable, but after you ride for a long time, it has a little bit of a lean forward kind of seating position. So after a while, it kind of works on your arms and your back a little bit. I'm gonna work on that.
Stu Bean, we got the work week in. Yes, we got her licked. Yep.
Wife.
Yeah.
Hey, doll baby.
What?
Come on. We gotta go. I gotta go get car parts.
Now you gotta go?
Yeah.
I've been waiting on you.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
No. Stella. Tell her.
Wrong one.
So Ashley says the other day, she goes, well, I mean, we get sold my Camaro and I learn to drive this and this will be my new car. No.
You can't tell me.
Anyway, real quick, we gotta go get parts, but
Oh my gosh. Come on.
I put bar risers on this and that really enhanced the bar position. I know you guys really don't care. Anyways, I pulled a spark plug. I'm gonna get plugs for this.
Let's go. Just like you had a pit before. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I'm human. It's rather better out than in.
It's like 10 things before we got to leave.
Better out than in. I'm gonna change. We're getting oil and I'm getting plugs for this. And I didn't check the air filter, but
You got,
I can
that
clean.
might be your 11th thing you got to do before we leave. Let's go.
all right. So now what we're gonna do today? We're gonna turn the lights on over here. There we go. We're gonna button up this back end, get the bumpers and everything on it, and I got a Fram filter. I only got the best of oils, and I got new spark plugs for this because I pulled a spark plug, and it's not bad, but you can tell they've been in there for a little while, and they are starting to show some wear. So I thought, give this thing a little bit of a tune-up. I'm gonna pull the air filter. We're gonna check it, see what it looks like. And just, change the oils. Make sure it's going to be a reliable car for somebody. Reason being, I went with the Fram. I was actually going to get a Super Tech filter, which is probably even worse than Fram. But the Super Tech filter was way smaller than this, the one that they called for. And so I checked all the other brands they had. There was Mobile One and K&N and stuff, which they were like 4 times more than this. But they were all this size. And I can tell you right now, I'd rather put a bigger oil filter on a car as opposed to a smaller one. Because a smaller one, it's not going to hold as much particulates in it. Or, it's not going to have, it can plug up easier. It's just not going to filter your oil as well as a bigger one where you have more capacity for it to pick up, contaminants and stuff like that. So I will always, if I look up filters and one of them is bigger than the other, I'll always go for the bigger filter. So let me clean up my work area here a little bit. Then I'm going to jump straight into this. So let's do this. This is my one complaint with Hondas, and I don't know if they've since changed it on newer models, but everything they do is simplified and easy and normally easy to work on. But why? Why do you put your oil filter halfway up on the block where when you take it out, you see all this oil was on here? Because most people, when they change oil on these things, don't clean the engine off when they're done, because after you take that oil filter off, it all runs down over the subframe here and over the oil pan and stuff. This is the only place there was oil on this engine, was the backside, and I already knew that nothing was leaking. It was just the oil filter because of where they place it. Come on, Honda! Alright, so it's all buttoned up. I did clean the air. The air filter wasn't that bad. I blew it out from the backside. Ow! And then cleaned the air box out with my vacuum and put it all back together. So we're good there. I don't have a lot of time. I just went and got the inspection on this. I had 10 days to do it after getting it registered. So I just went and did that. So now I'm going to button this back end up real quick. and that's probably going to be the end of this episode, but let me clean up over here and get back here and get this back together, because my dad's bringing his truck up. We're going to do some work on his Silverado, and I'm going to do that off camera. So, yeah, there's going to be another episode on this. I'm going to do all the finishing touches and clean it up some and stuff, but let's take care of this back end real quick. So I just got in here to take this bumper off. I never even really looked at it until just this second now. I realize now why they didn't take this bumper off and why they cut that open like they did. They only got one nut off, but look at that. There's nothing left to that nut. It's just a cone on the end of those threads, and I want to try to preserve the threads that are on there. So what I'm going to do is get a cutting wheel and go the whole way around this box, and we're going to chop this bumper off and then try to remove these nuts, what's left of them. So this is going to be fun. Time to grind. Time to grind. So the rear bumper I had to cut off because the nuts were cone shaped. So I ended up cutting the bumper off. I didn't video any of that, but I cut them off, and then I tried to weld a nut on them, and I couldn't get anything to weld to what was left on here. So I ended up cutting them off, and I got two nuts on this side. One of the studs busted, so I got one on this side, but it's on there solid and mounted, and it's straight. So let's fit the bumper up. That thing bolted up like fairly easy. Got the mud flaps bolted on, bumpers bolted there. There's a couple up underneath I still need to get, but I'm going to put this thing up in the air, and we're going to fluid film it. That's what I was doing earlier. My dad brought his truck in. We fluid filmed the underside of it, knocked some rust off and stuff. And I'm like, well, I have the gun out, and this car needs it. My buddy came and looked at this today, and he's interested in it, so this thing might be gone already. But we're not done with it. There's a couple spots I want to hit, like this rust spot. We want to treat that, put a little touch up on it, a couple other things. I don't know. I'm going to try to clean up this trunk. If I can't get it to look better, I might try the shop line paint. Try to spray that trunk. I don't know. Down here, this is all original paint. This up here, this is not original. This is crap. That's what this is. Let's get this up and look at the underside of it. Like I said, we'll take care of this. A couple other little things, but we're not gonna get too crazy on this. Oh, and then the carpet that has the hole in it. I'm gonna do something with that too. We need padding and carpet. I think what I'm gonna do is cut some from an area that you can't see over there at the edge of the rug. We'll get some of the padding and some of the carpet, and we'll stitch a patch on that. Also, I was going to do like a compression fitting on this, and I think what we're going to do now, this is just a vapor line, the one that's smashed. I'm going to cut it here and here, and we're going to flare the ends and just put a piece of fuel hose in here. I didn't get it yet, but we will do that, and then I'll put this back up, and I might put some plastic or something around this to cover the fuel hose, but it'll work. It'll work just fine.
there you have it.
Next episode, we're going to get this thing out on the road, see how it runs. We are going to do some cleanup and try to make it look a little bit better. A front bumper, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to spray paint it or not. I might try the trunk lid first, being that it is rough. My buddy is interested in it, so I might try to make this look a little bit better, but yeah, that's pretty rough. The bumper went on, fits pretty good. We're going to do something with a couple little rust spots. There's a rust spot there, a rust spot there, and that might be what we try the paint on first, just to see what it looks like. Rust spot. And then there's a small rust spot here, and I'll probably treat all those just to, you know, see how it works. But this thing's undercoated, so it's not going to rust underneath, at least any more than it already is. We're going to try to patch that carpet in the next episode, and we need to clean this thing inside and out. It needs it dearly. The motor sounds good, so that's one good thing. We are also going to polish these headlights. Also, we're going to prep the Audi bumper. The fender's already prepped, but I need to get it off. I wanted all this stuff covered up, and I put the bumper outside because when I was spraying that fluid film, I didn't want to get any particulates on the bumper. I didn't want to get any contamination on it because the paint job, I don't want this to get messed up. So this fender was covered, and the bumper was way across yonder. We're probably going to do a couple more cheaper builds like this if I can make them go pretty quick. Might do a couple more like this, unless something like this comes up, and my wife will kill me. So consider subscribing. Smash that like button if you like the video. Hit that dislike button if your undercarriage is rotted out. And we'll see you on the next episode. All right.